Hey guys, I want to talk about a very special game called Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. As ridiculous as that title is, this game is really amazingly fun. It's definitely something I did not expect to be as enjoyable as I started. I thought it'd be one of these silly, quirky games that really doesn't live up to any expectations I had, but it really does. It exceeded all my expectations. What's funny is that so Turnip Boy, it has this very cute sort of 16-bit art style, and the basic controls are basically you have a sword and a dash, and that's pretty much it. And it's very much in the Zelda isometric, or a bird's eye view, whatever you want to call it, style. What's really funny is that the game itself is funny. The writing is really great. Turnip Boy himself is a silent character, so he never talks. So it's all the other characters who have these crazy, insane dialogues that are honestly really funny. I haven't laughed at something this hard since, I don't know, like an Earthbound type game or something. For example, there's this one character, and because they're all based on vegetables and fruits and stuff, there's this one called Cran, which is a parody on Gran, and it's like an old lady who has wrinkles. She's a cranberry, but she's also into like anime culture, and she thinks she's cute and says ooh woo unironically. and she's like, I'm not Quinge, am I? Like, this game was made for me. Like, it's hilarious. I forgot, you also have a series of other items you use, like watering cans that you use for certain bosses, for example. All the side quests are very silly and very funny without being too quirky or anything. They're genuinely funny. There's this one, streamer Blueberry that, needs something from someone else, and you go get it. And so the whole premise of the game, I mean, it's very much almost a Zelda clone, but with the humor of Earthbound, if that's how I could sell it to you, I guess, in the meeting room. And it's very fluid. The combat is honestly very fun. It's not janky at all. Another thing that's very cool about it is you can also Turnip Boy throughout his adventure, he'll get different hats that you can equip and different things to put on his head, from hats to sun hats to ridiculous items like probably a piece of poo and stuff like this. So it's funny, what is the actual lore of the tax evasion of the Turnip Boy game? So it's funny that basically a Turnip's Boy dad was part of the vegetable mafia, and after he passed away, his house is being taxed by the mayor. And what turns out to be this convoluted plot where, similar to something like Adventure Time, humans were around, they had nuclear warfare, and now all of these vegetables became sentient. And so the vegetables kind of like restarted civilization, but were hyper intelligent. So they were able to basically advance from the Stone Age all the way up to modern times. And so taxes were literally just invented for the mayor to take advantage of all the other vegetables in Veggieville or whatever. Again, this game it's very fast paced. Like, the plot just goes, there's not a lot of great character depth, but there's a lot of very genuinely funny dialogue that is not overbearing and honestly very refreshing to see. I'd say the dialogue is probably the strongest part of this game. And the gameplay is good. There are, of course, bosses throughout the game that you fight that are not, too terribly difficult. There's a little horde mode where you go on a train and you use it, to do, this kind of grinding thing. Sometimes you're just completely kind of lost as to why you're doing something, but you do always know where you have to go, so it's always very consistent. Something I forgot to say is that the music in this game is really good. It's very charming, it's very cute, it's bitty, it fits the tone of the game. It's funny that I should mention that whenever you get a piece of paper or anything that you can write, Turnip Boy can only rip it apart. So there's certain things that you feel like you shouldn't rip apart because it feels like evil, and there are certain things where the joke is that, you know, Turnip Boy is this cute little looking book, but he's also extremely evil in certain contexts, and it's to the perception of the viewer, which I think is very funny. But yeah, no, the game is really good. It has some really good jams, some really good theme music, boss music, etc. But yeah, it's kind of built like a Zelda-like. There's like these little dungeons where you have to use an item correctly throughout the dungeon or area, and that will eventually also link into the boss fight and how you use that. Then you have to find, you know, either doing things like side quests for people, or how do I say, finding keys in the dungeon to unlock different rooms. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, it was a Game Pass game, so it's definitely a game that I did not intend to really play. I picked it up for like an afternoon, and after half an hour I was absolutely hooked. So it's one of those games where if you like it out the bat, you're gonna love the rest of this game, and if you don't, then, you know, kind of don't bother with the rest of it. But I honestly cannot recommend this game enough. It's cute, it's funny, it's very, you know, quirky without being overbearing, and I'm really excited to see what the people who made this make next. And in fact, they've already made a sequel to this game, but it's more of a roguelike. And I know the people behind this game are really genuinely creative and passionate about this, and I honestly can't get enough. It's very fun, and it's very funny. Anyway, with that all being said, please try and pick out Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, and you know, uncover the mystery of you know, the tax evasion methods. And yeah, the climax of this game is appropriately over the top and insane, and I think nothing else would suit the game better. Anyway, guys, definitely check this one out. I will see you later. Bye.